the right thing. Perfect. Okay, now we got it. So, like I said, is there any questions that anybody has for me that they want me to go over specifically? And this is pertaining to our website only, not your instructor and your relationship with your instructor, not, anything outside of affiliates, how they're working, like your hubs, your tipping circle, anything like that. This class is exclusively to help you write and better your website. So with that being said, is there any questions that you want me to go, or concerns that you would like me to show you about your site? This is where you ask so that we can get detailed exclusively for your site for the questions that you have. Other than that, then we will be going over the new protocols that Rory talked about today, the new affiliates that's coming, and show you how to get started with those pages. So if you have a question, you can unmute yourself and ask it, and I'll write it down, and we most likely will go over it during the training.
Sheila,
Yes.
are there going to be more products coming up?
Yes, we got 50 in all.
Oh
Wow.
my God. Okay, so far we want to see that like 2 or 3.
Yep. Because what they're doing is they're making sure that their site will work, that they have the inventory for us to promote, that the commissions are going to be constant, not just a one and buy and done like ClickBank does in CJ. You buy one time, you get commission once, even though your customer comes back repeatedly, they only pay you commission once.
Ooh.
Yeah. I run into that all the time. You get paid that first commission and that's it. You don't get paid again, even though the customers are repeat customers. So the other thing is they want to make sure that they have that in place, that if our customers come back and when they come back to purchase, that we still get that commission every time they purchase. The other thing is to make sure that they have the protocols in place, like materials for us to use to market with, that they want us to use, make sure that they, like I said, can handle our volume because they're not used to that. And then the longevity, just to make sure that they're not a splash in the pan, to make sure that they do have those parameters, that they have done the search, and that they are viable. Roy doesn't want to promote anything and then in 6 months they go out of business. So there's just some logistics going on. Again, like I was telling my team last night, there are quite a few actors, actresses, sports, high-end, highly named sports people we're going to be marketing with. Can't tell you any names,
Right.
but if you're not going to be at any of the functions, I highly suggest you find a way to get there, because some of them's going to be there. And only wine ambassador, the wine ambassador triple R247 people will be able to rub shoulders with them, meet with them, have dinner with them, talk with them, get an autograph potentially. I just know I'm taking footballs with me to the September event. So, just letting you know. So yeah, but yes, some very high-end, well-known actresses that have various lines of products that we are going to help them market. They will most certainly be on some Tuesday calls once we get their product up and running, and at some of the events. So guys, please don't give up, stay in there, and just keep an eye out. He's hoping that some of them will be ready to launch this coming up Tuesday. But like he said today, it could be a couple of weeks out because he wants to launch at least 4 or 5 of them at one time. So we can go ahead and do it. Before he told us he wanted us to hold the pages in draft. Today he said go ahead and publish them as information pages.
So if we're publishing them, we just float them for now?
Yep, just
Because
float them.
we don't have links.
Yep, you don't have links, so you're just going to float them and let them be information. You want to make sure that you don't have in your page, click here or go here. You want to make sure you tell them. And I always do a blanket statement at the beginning that says marketing. How do I put it? I have to pull up my page, but it usually is a disclaimer that we are marketing the site, links to come shortly for product purchase. So, or you can say, making you aware of a new product that's coming, something like that. Or you can say, product coming soon. You know, like when a store's getting ready to open, they say coming soon. So
Mhm.
you can do something like that, and market it that way. And then just say, hey, come see what we're getting ready to open up. And then you have your page that explains the product and market it that way. And then when you actually get your links, change it to it's open, you know, or something like that, because they're already aware of it. So just like I said, just put a disclaimer up there when you do your title. Just put it right underneath the first paragraph, not underneath your title, because you're going to get that little mark from Google that says you have your key phrase, but it doesn't start your first paragraph, because your first paragraph is actually going to be your disclaimer. That's fine. But once you get the links, you want to take that out. Okay. So any more questions before we dive into all this fun stuff? Those of you that were, let me get one other thing. Hold on real quick. I want to get you the link for the key phrase Google Doc I have that I just share. I add to it all the time because there are some people that it's just a little bit more expensive. It's not in their budget to pay for Jaxie. I pay for Jaxie. I use it all the time. So it's there, and I share it as often as possible as I can with you guys. What is this? Oh no, I don't want that.
Is this through Google?
It's through Google Drive, yeah.
Okay.
My Google Drive has really been acting weird.
Well, it's not just me.
No, because every time I try to share something, I'm having to go through hoops to try to get the share button. And I don't like that. I got to figure out what's going on with it. I want that. Let me open this. There we go, share. So, all right, so this is going to be an open only link. You won't be able to modify it. So just be aware of that. Don't say, hey, there's something wrong with my link. It's not. So when you go into open it, you just want to open it in a folder or save it, bookmark it, and then just go to it. And I literally add to it weekly. So you'll be able, guys, be able to see that. So I just posted it in chat. And you can, like I said, y'all have access to that to look at it. And there's key phrases in there from all kind of, I mean, I just have food recipes, the muses, when we had the More Than Muse, I have just a whole plethora of just key phrases for all kind of different things. TVs, bilingual speaking, because one of our programs we're supposed to be getting is a terminology, learn to speak various languages, sleep and weight loss. There's actually a thing in there for affiliate sites, nootropics, work from home, internet marketing, the chat. There's actually a folder in there for trigger words. A lot of people's like, what's trigger words? Those are words that make people want to read your site or purchase. So I actually did some research on finding trigger words. And literally when you're making your blog or doing your ads, those trigger words are key to helping you understand how to market and who to target. And they actually have titles on, you know, greed, people that are greedy, you know, are looking for greed, that they're triggered by the buying. You have things in there. Please mute yourself if you have some excess noise. It's kind of distracting me here. So you want to make sure that those trigger words, like I said, are just really good to help you know your audience and what's going on. So y'all have access to that. And like I said, I add to it every week. You know, you can use it as often as you can. Some of the captions for those trigger words are inspire curiosity, people that, you know, are just basically lazy. They want something fast and simple. And they have keywords for that that you can use. Feeding consumer lust, appeal to vanity. With that marketing we just got today for the affiliate for the clothing and the beauty products for Curse Cosmetics. Those are some great things. How to make people feel powerful. Things to make it simple, how to, you know, encourage people that need authority, people to feel safe, people to gain your trust, people that anger sort of is their trigger, the rebel type personality, the fearful people, the ones that are afraid of missing out on something. So all those are trigger topics, and there's keywords and all that that you can use to start out your ads for. So those are there for you guys to look into. Now, one of the things I want to talk about, and some people, Stacy touched on it Thursday, those of you that was on her site or on her training Thursday, was our Joyful Bee hair care product line that we're getting ready to do. With me having, I have type 4 hair. You can see I got it in a bun, but I have really, really frizzy, kinky, natural curls. You got to realize the generation we grew up in, there wasn't a whole lot of terminology. A lot of ads out there are still very dated as far as terminology. So you're going to offend people because of that. A lot of articles are still geared toward Black, Native American, African American. They're not very politically correct. So again, you just want to make sure that you are very, how can I say, not really cautious, but, you know, you appeal to the masses. You know, language is language, terminology is terminology. When I grew up, they told me I had ethnic hair because there was no other word for it. You know, you either had straight hair or kinky hair. They called it nappy when I grew up. So again, you just want to make sure that you're very respectful of the different cultures out there. It could just be a hereditary issue, because if you look at my sister, she has very straight Black hair. She got the true Indian side. I don't know where my hair came from. I mean, I have mixed colored hair. It's kinky. I can straighten it out, you know, but I love my curls too. So again, you just want to make sure that you market not necessarily to a different race, but you can use like cultural, you can use like use the hair typing system instead of trying to single out a particular race, faction, or, you know, ethnicity. That will keep you safe and keep you from being targeted as a racist or anything like that, even though I know none of us are. But there are those people that will take offense just by you mentioning certain words. So just, you know, it's not that we know. There's some people just don't know the difference because of the culture they grew up in. That just, you know, they don't think anything wrong of it. I don't, because that's what I grew up in, but there are some people that will find that offensive. So again, you just want to make sure that you write about what you know. If you do your research and see that a lot of people are using certain terminology that you're not comfortable with, you don't have to use that terminology. There's other words and key phrases that you can use, but it's best to speak on your own experience and your research. With me, I can say ethnic hair because I have it. You know, I can say I have 4C, type 4C hair. You know, I have nappy, kinky, frizzy, curly hair. That's me. But that's me personally. I can also say that I can talk about, you know, my grandson. He has very fine, curly, smooth hair, but he's 9 months old. Every baby has smooth, curly hair, you know, or straight hair or no hair. So again, you just want to make sure that you are speaking, especially when you're writing these types of pages, you're either speaking from experience or very in-depth research, so you don't offend people. Okay. All right, and with that being said, we're going to go to my page. Not that one, I'm going to save that one. That's what I'm working on, my deep sea fishing experience. And guys, I'm going to tell you, for those that's friends with me on Facebook, saw me cook my fish, it was delicious. Just to say
I
it
don't
was.
see it, Sheila.
You don't see what?
What you're talking about?
Oh, I haven't shared my screen, have
Okay.
I?
No. I have to turn my volume off because Flipper's going nuts in the
Yeah,
background. No.
just mute yourself. You'll be fine.
Okay, I am.
All right. So, all right, let me get to the page I want to get to. And let me go ahead and share my screen. So does anybody have any questions or anything about what we're getting ready to do? Or if they have any questions about their website, please feel free to chime in, ask questions while we're going through this.
I don't have access to your, to that link you gave for Zaxi.
When you do, yeah, it should just be open. You should just be able to open it. What's it telling you?
Yeah, it says you need access, you need to request access.
I've got the same thing.
Really? Because it says anybody with this link can open it. All right, hold up. Let me get there. All right, so yeah, anybody with this link, copy link. All right, I'm gonna send it again and y'all tell me if y'all can open it.
That did it.
That did it?
Yeah.
Give me a
Perfect.
I'm not sure yet. Give me a second.
Okay.
No, it still says it for me.
Try the new link.
Did you try the second one? Yeah, there's a second link I just posted.
Oh, okay. I got the wrong one.
Yep, try that one.
Got it.
Perfect. Okay.
Thank you.
I just copied the wrong one. All right, gotcha. So yeah, so all of these, those of you that can see, share my screen, all these are different key phrases for different words. So if you click on the actual file, you see the keyword. This is for a Phoenix, and this is how many people are searching. This is how much traffic to come to your site. This is how many people are competing with that key phrase. This is your how great the key phrase is, or the quality of the key phrase. And this is what is your average based on your advertising that you will appear on the first 3 to 5 pages. Page 1 exclusively. So I always tell people the higher this number and the lower this number, the greater chance you get of getting on the page 1. Sometimes this isn't necessarily the best tool to use, because you can have like this one here. There's only 24 people searching for this. 5 people have come to your site. There's only 33 people. Same thing for this one. There's 112 people searching. 20 people come to your site, but there's nobody using that. There's no competition for that key phrase. So that'll make a great title. So sometimes you just want to see if this is a really low number that you have no competition, then your advertising will be phenomenal. You will appeal up there a whole lot faster. Even though you have a low search column, there's still people searching. And all you want them to do is come to your site. They'll find something else that they're looking for. So you can see down at the bottom, there's all kind of different programs down here. Like I have for Brain, I have, television, karaoke, singing, because we're supposed to be getting that karaoke machine, the swimwear, sunless tanning, sexy fashion. We just got that new clothing line that's getting ready to come up. Celebrity fashion is another one that we have coming in. You have the Nootropics, Blue Scorpion. So that's all in that one file. So there's several key phrases in that one file. And then I started the hair care one. It's the same thing. I just started searching terms that I found on Google that people are looking for. And there's some great ones in there. So you want to be able to go in there and look. So just hair, I just put in just hair beauty, So just different things. So the key phrase I typed in is hair care, and this is all the stuff that came up. Textured hair. Again, there's some great stuff out there for textured hair. You'll see that some of them I didn't even do search for, either because I didn't, the spelling, like this one, the spelling's wrong. That's just me. I just can't deal with that information. And this one kind of just, I know how people feel. I didn't want to single out any culture. So some of them I don't have because there's ones that were better. Some of them look like they were repetitious. So I don't have the key phrase search for those. So, but there's just some good stuff in there that you could use. You can find out great information on. So again, you just want to go through and find key phrases that you feel good about. Like I said, I can talk about ethnic hair all day. So what we're going to do is show you how I go about creating a page. And we're going to try to do at least a couple of them. So the first one we're going to do is we're going to look at the Joyful Bee. Those of you that were on Saturday, Stacy actually put in the link for the Joyful Bee products. So those of you that have that, you can be able to look at it. If you don't have it, let me know, and I will post it again. So I have everything, you know me, I've got everything in a folder somewhere.
I don't have it.
Huh? You don't have it?
No.
Look in our chat. I posted it.
Okay.
Look in the chat. So this is Joyful Bee. This is her information folder that she sent out, and it has her videos on there. It has her promotional photos that you can use when you're writing her pages. Come on, let me close some of these. I got too much open. Close that, close that. All right, so here's her videos, so you can open it up. Hopefully we can open it up. No, why it's not working. Is my Google fell asleep or something? Are you thinking? All right, let's see if it'll open up the other one. Because I just had it open yesterday. So here's her influencer brief. So if you don't know about her, this is her, Joyful Bee. This is her products. Her first product that she does is the Perfect Day Wash Kit. She tells a little bit about it, what's in it. She also has her tutorials in there that she has She has a huge following on YouTube that you can go and watch her different things that's in there. Here's her photo library. So you can click on that and see, which is what I just did. Let's see if it opens here. Yep, so I don't know why it didn't open in the other one. So here's her different her library, her tutorials that you can use, the video influencer. She has the promotional stuff. You can go in and see the different photos she has of that. So it's just a really great tool to use that you can add pictures. So she actually has the instructions in there. So these are just some great things that you can use. Product promotion. So she has her products in here that you can see for that 5-day wash kit. And this is her. So that's her. So you can see that she is a avid user of her own products. Her story is really great. If you haven't read her story, it's like she says, if you go to her website, joyfulbee.com, and it's joyfulbee.com. She tells her story that she used relaxers on her hair, flat irons, heat, just to get rid of her kink and her curls. She really didn't know what she had, how her hair was. And then she, like the 80s came around and everybody wanted to be natural. And so she had to find something that would help her hair. So she made these products. So that's a great keyword too, is natural hair, which mine's all natural. I don't have any product in my hair. Some of us use certain products to help relax those curls, to keep them straight. Hers is doing that. I can't wait to get mine. I've actually ordered the kit to see how it does my hair because I hate using product. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my page and I'm going to go to add new. And I go to pages, but if you're in all pages up here, you can also add new. And since you're in pages, then you know it's going to be a page. So I just go here and hit add a new page. And I'm just going to go to my Jaxie and I'm going to type in, this is another one I've been working on, is the clothing. We'll come back to that one here in a minute. So we're going to just type in hair care. If I can type. And what I like to do is I want to pick a term that has great key searches, has a lot of traffic been looked at, but not necessarily a lot of competition. And I want to use that as my title for my page. So again, Black hair care products, like she was saying, her products go great with any type of ethnicity, background, culture, even men. So again, I don't want to single out any particular race or culture. I wanted to make sure that it encompasses everybody. And that's what she wants to make sure, is that her product encompasses everybody, that we don't single anybody out. She wants to be able to market to everybody. So again, you got hair care products. It's got great searches. It's got great traffic, a lot of competition. So you got a poor chance of getting on first page. The other thing about this key phrase is there are a lot of paid ads. So you want to make sure you're not competing with a paid ad. And if you don't believe me, we can go to Google and type in hair care. And this right here, these people pay to get here. You're never going to beat them out. Okay. You go down to the bottom and you're going to see more people that are paying for these ads. So there's another one that's paid. Okay. Here's some related subjects. Again, these are great things that you can look at. Hair care routine. So let's look up hair care routine, because that's one of her key phrases. Did you know you had a hair care routine? So you got these 3 ads that are talking about hair care routine, but these are hair care tips. It's not necessarily hair care routine. So let's go look at Jaxie and see if we can look at for that one. What does that say? What's our competition look like for that? So hair care routine. It's normal. There's 241 people competing, but then look at natural hair care routine. Right here, there's 135 people looking at that. Hair care routines is another one. And again, you want to make sure that these are things that that you can write about. Wavy hair routine. So there's different directions that you can go with this. So let me pull out my notes that I had from the other day. And how I have directed my page. I got too many notebooks here. Yeah. My little student I have. Okay. So one of the things I want to talk about, and I'm going to do natural hair care. All right. And then from there, I'm going to use some of the key phrases that I know of. And I'm just going to create an outline based on some of the key phrases that I've seen in my Jaxie search. So again, people's going to say, what's natural hair care? All right. You're going to ask types. I'm going to talk about curly. Well, let's go. And then from your hair types, you can break it down by the type. You have type C hair, 2C, 3C, and 4, or type 2, type 3, type 4, and then it goes from A, B, C, and there's even a D. So you can talk about hair types, and then you can talk about care. So once you talk about what is natural hair, types of hair, care for hair types. So then we're going to go back to Jaxie and see what else we can find. So let's look up hair solutions. So again, here's why: thin hair solution for men, new hair solutions. Let's look up just the word hair solutions. So there's 156 sites competing for that. So frizzy hair solutions, let's look at that one because I have frizzy hair. Again, this is where you can talk about the different things. So there's only 109 people competing with that. Even though there's a low count for actual people searching for that, it's still a good key phrase to use as a heading. Curly hair solution. Here's another one. Again, not a whole lot. Thinning hair solution. So I'm not real sure about if her products have thinning hair, but again, thinning hair solutions. So this is one of those things that you can actually do some research on to talk about thinning hair. Now, my mother-in-law has thinning hair, and it's just part of our heritage or her heritage. The women in her family have thin hair, but based on studies that I've done, thinning hair can come from various things. It could be genetic, so you can talk about the genetic side of it. It can be from not taking care of your hair properly or your scalp properly. So that's how you can take an angle on that. You can explain about thinning hair solutions or thinning hair in general, and then go to the point to where you are letting them know, hey, we have a solution for this type of cause for your thinning hair. And then, or you can just do causes for thinning hair, okay? And then in that, you can do a subtitle of solutions. And like I said, this is just an outline. I may not talk about all these topics, but it's there. If I get too wordy or it gets too long, then I can actually come back in and say, okay, this will make a great page, and start a different page altogether. So here's healthy hair solution. Alternative hair solution. So you got healthy hair, alternative hair. Okay, again, those are great key phrases. Then you can go back. Let's look at our, because she actually has some key phrases in there that she, like, here's some of her key phrases that she has. For hair, 4C hair. That's a great one. You can actually do 4C hair if you want to talk about it. You can break down the different categories. So again, it's the direction you want to talk. So look at here. There's 3,000 people that search for 4C hair. Great topic to talk about if you just want to do 4C hair. I can do 4C hair all day. So that'll be another topic that I can write about. Yes, Linda Marie.
How do you come up with 4C or 1C or B? What is
That's
the
your hair type. There is a hair chart. There
Okay.
is a hair chart. And it lists your type of hair. So if you go to your hair chart, right here.
Okay, now I see. Thank you.
Yep. There is a hair chart. Trust me, if you don't know what your hairstyle is or your hair is, look at the hair chart. And it will tell you type 2 is just a basic wave that most people have. You have 2A. Come on, come on, come on. Pick it up. Okay. And it gives you some examples of people that have this type of hair. Okay. 2C. And these are the more milder types hair. And then you get to the 3, which is the curly. And it says, has been known to frizz, buoyancy, bouncy, springy, corkscrew type, prone to frizz. And then it shows people that has that type of hair, and it all starts with a number and a letter, goes up to C, some goes up to D. Don't know why it's taking this so long to pull up, but it is.
You have too many tabs open.
I've been working on it since about 7 o'clock this morning. And then you have type 4, and it gives a description. Like I said, you can tell how old this is because of the terminology it uses. But it says type 4, which is coily. And it just depends on how your texture is. It actually gives you some different, and each site that has this has different pictures that you can use. You have your type B, you have your type C hair, and then you have, which is mine. Mine looks like that when I brush it out, and it has the different ads, but they portray most ethnic backgrounds with type 4 hair. And it actually gives a picture. So again, it just depends on what site you use, that you look at. One of them I found actually has a chart. I can't remember. I thought I saved it, but apparently I didn't. So we'll see if this is the one. No. So she actually has a video here, but you see, like, here's the chart. It tells you got 1, which is just straight hair, and then it starts with 2 BC, 3 BC, and then 4. So it tells you your hair texture. And then here's it, you can actually research it: straight, wavy, curly, very curly, kinky, coily. And here's some great information that you can use. This website has some great information that explains about the different hairstyles or hair types. This would be some great information that you can use on your page, especially if you don't have that type of hair. But it's best to talk about the type of hair that you have, and then do research on other types, just to get a better overall view of what you'll be talking about. So this is a great place. I'm actually going to put this link in the chat so some of you can research it. So it's in there for you to bookmark that page, that you can go in and see these different hair types. Listen to her video. So there's some great information out there. So then once I'm going to get in here, I'm going to just talk about the natural hair, the hair types, and then the type hair, care for hair types, causes of thinning hair solutions. And then, or I can just say hair type solutions, hair solutions in general. Okay. And then now what I have to do is figure out what I want for my key phrase. So I got natural hair care products. So I'm just going to come down here and put natural. And I always want to do lowercase. Okay. Or products, sorry. All right. And then I want to go ahead and do my meta description. And I usually don't do my meta description until after I talk or do my actual typing, so I can get a better understanding of the way I want my page to go, but I kind of have an idea of where I want it to flow. Let me go ahead. All right, so you see I went from green to orange by putting this in. So now what I'm going to do is go in and see where I only need like 1 or 2 spaces. So I'm going to take that out. and say the varies, I'm just going to say with various hair types. See, and now it's fine. Here's some help, period. So sometimes punctuation, if it's a period, exclamation point, or anything like that, that causes you to go from green to red or orange, take the punctuation out of the last sentence. Sometimes you can go in and change your phrasing around and still mean the same like I did. I just took out the word the and just put with various hair types. Choosing the right one can be difficult, which now it makes better sense. It sounds more appealing. And then I'm just going to go in and I will start writing this page. I'm going to save it to draft. So now I have my idea of how I want this page to flow. And then if I wanted to come in and create another page. Okay. Oh, it's still updating. Okay, so we're going to let that save. So now all I have to do is just write. These will actually become headlines when I start to write, and then my SEO will pick up. So it's already telling me, number one, I don't have enough words, which I know. I don't have any links. I don't have any attributes. I don't have any images. And because I don't have any words, but everything else looks good. My meta description's good. Key phrase is good. I haven't used this key phrase before. I've used the title. So these are all good. So that's a good start. This is just basically writing. Once you start writing, these will go away. You can add pictures. I know when Roy does it, he already has an image in mind he wants to use. I don't. I like putting my pictures in last because I want it to match my topics that I'm talking about. So this one has been saved. So that's for that. So if you want to, just by what we've gone over, I can come in and do a whole nother page on hair type. So I'm going to come back here and go to add new. And I'm going to put in and I'm actually going to capitalize all that. And then I'm going to put in, do my introduction, which I didn't do a while ago. Your introduction is basically going to explain your page. And then I'm going to put in hair types. And then I'm going to break out the hair types. Type 2 or type 1. And this is just going to be a simple page, hair types, and then I can put best product solution, and then my conclusion. So again, I'm going to put in my key phrase here, and this one I already know, hair type. So in our Jaxie, when we typed in hair type, let's see which one, because I know one of them was poor, one of them was okay. So again, once I looked at here, so here's one, how to determine your hair type. People are looking for that. So you can actually use that as a header, how to determine your hair type. So let's see if that's good. See, but there's 300 people competing for that with only 79 people actually searching for it. So even though that would be a good headline, it wouldn't be a good topic, or it wouldn't be a good title for your page. Your hair type, you can use that. Curly hair type. So let's see what curly hair types are. So again, there's 161 people competing with that, but you got 16 or 6,500 searches. So again, that would be a good header to put in. So here I could put curly hair, which is type. And just say type 3. So you can actually label them. You can and see when you go to Jaxie and it says curly hair types. So there, so now you have a key phrase or a good search term in your page that can get indexed just for this search term. And then you're going to have the topics to go with it. Type 4 hair. So again, we're going to look for what it says for hair type. So we have curly hair. So you have type 4 hair. Again, that's a good 4A. So again, it breaks down 4A hair type. Look, 108 people competing. You got a 90% chance of ranking on page 1. Mixed hair type, ethnic hair types. Again, like I said, that's what I've been told my hair has been all my life. It's a great key search. So you can use that. Determine natural hair type, find out your hair type. Again, it just depends on what you want to do. So again, hair type charts, 4C type hair. So that's a great one. We're not going to do a hair chart because if you want to, you can do a hair chart. Natural hair type chart and put it in there. There's only 43 people competing for that site or for that key phrase. So again, you can actually label your page hair type chart. How does it say it? I just lost it that fast.
Figure out your hair type.
No, it was the chart. Where did it go? Right here. No, already went through that. Mixed hair. Hair type. Yeah, hair type chart right there. So that one is good. Natural hair type chart. So you could do that one, natural hair type chart, and then talk about the different hair types. So again, what is your hair type? I can put that, or I could change it and say natural hair type chart and then do it because that's what I'm doing is talking about that. So let's see if my key phrase got too long. So again, my SEO title width is good. So you always want to make sure that this is good. If it says it's too long or too short, change it. Especially if it's too long, because that means when people go to search Google like we did, where did I search? Did I close it? So like when you go to search Google, if your title's too long, they won't see all of it here. They only see a portion of it. If it's too short, like this one, you'd probably get a too short one. Like this one, it's too long because I promise you there's something after glamour. Same thing with your meta description. This right here is your meta description. So anytime there's a ... that means it's too long. Most people won't click on this because they can't read it all unless the title intrigues them. So the one thing you want to do is make sure that all of your meta description like this shows up. So if you are typing your meta description and it turns orange, that means it's too long and they're going to cut off at least 3 or 4 of your words to make it fit. And then you're going to have this ... That means there's more to read. So every time, and then when you click on it to see what it is, they have to click on this to read it. Most people won't click on to read it unless the title intrigues them to read what it is. Oh, that's my man right there. Ain't he cute? Anyway, that's about that. So again,
I'm gonna tell.
trust me, my husband knows. So So again, you know, there's always kind of images. And if you don't want to use her images, when you come to Google to search hair types, you can always go to images and see any image that may not, that's bookmarked or not bookmarked, but watermarked. So you can, you know, pull out this chart, find your natural hair type. So there's my picture right there. So let's pull this up. But see, it's a cartoon. Me, I think cartoons are less offensive than the actual picture of a person, but that's just me. So again, it depends on how you want to do it. And since I am actually using this as a title, I think I'm going to copy this. So I'm going to copy this image and I'm going to go ahead and put it in my picture, in my site. And I'm going to come right here and I'm going to do an image. Actually, I'm not going to do an image block because it's not in my at library yet. I'm just going to come in here and paste the image. So it's just going to pull up right there. And then I'm just going to make it smaller. So now I have an image in there and I'm going to put, I don't like that big thing right there, but it'll be all right because I'm not going to put anything in it. I might actually end up putting some words over here or something. I don't know. Let's see. But now that picture is in my library. So I'm just going to save the draft. And I'm going to put hair type chart because I think that is I want to use that. So natural hair type chart. So I'm going to put that in there. All right, so there's that. So I have that. And again, that's my picture. That's going to be my focal picture. And I'm going to just, again, talk about all right, so finding your natural hair type can be difficult, especially for curly hair. This is a chart to help explain and determine your hair type. Explain. Yeah, I could say find. I'm going to say determine because it gives me more. So I still have some space, but again, I've used hair type, natural hair type. I've used the word chart. So when I go to my meta description, so it's telling me my meta description, I've used the key phrases, but I haven't used the exact match, which is fine. I'm not going to. I like the way that sounds. I might come back and fix it later. And because I haven't done it in the first paragraph, that's fine. I haven't done a paragraph. My key phrase length is good. My meta description length is good. I haven't used the key phrase before. I have an image in there. My title is good. My slug's good. So you want to make sure all these are green. Again, you don't want your slug, which is your actual link for your page, to be different. So since I changed it, or did I? I think I left it. What is your hair type? hair type chart. Okay. That's kind of redundant, so I might change that, but it's okay. We'll be fine. So that's why it's giving me that, because I have hair type chart. I don't have natural hair type. I just have hair type. But if I put the word natural in here, it's going to shoot this to being too long. So again, this is just a basic pattern that that I use to write my pages with. And then I'll go through and I might think of something different. I might change it around a little bit. So I can put straight hair. Yeah, that's right. Coily to kinky hair. All right, so there's that. And then when I start to type, I will take the word introduction out, but these will actually become headers. So once I start writing, I'm going to change this paragraph to heading. I'm going to change this one to a heading. And these are going to be my charts. And I do always have conclusion. So now I have my headings already done. So we can do the introduction. All right, so there's my introduction. Again, it's talking, summarizing. I put my own personal experience in there. I've talked about the hair typing chart. I talked about the kinky frizzy hair. I've talked about, that there's a chart out there to help you determine your hair type. I've also keyed in that there's treatment options out there. So basically in my introduction, I've summarized my whole page of what I'm going to be talking about. So that also helps me stay on target with what I want to convey in my page, in my content. So now that I have my chart, my topics, I've already had those. I've done my introduction. So then I can go through and actually start writing about what the hair types are. And I can list that there are various hair types. I can use the research on that one page. I can actually go in and pull up other pages, the research, to get what each hair type is and put it in my own words. And then the best product solution, then you can talk about Joyful Bee products. I don't usually put the name of the product company out there, especially if we don't have a link, because they will go and research it and buy it from there. I always let them know that, hey, we have a 5-day hair care solution that you can put out there. You can actually go to her site and pull up some of the other products. Hey, we have a oil-based product that will help you tame your hair and give it that natural glow. We have a hair shine system, things like that we can use to promote. Then when we get the actual link, all you got to do is go in and put the link, change a few phrases around, and you're good. Same thing with the conclusion. My pictures here will be exactly, what I've talked about. I will have a picture of the straight hair type, even though I have a general overall picture here. Most likely I will pull out an individual picture to go with each one of these. I might even tie in at the end of it, is after they get their hair fixed, they want to have a night out on the town, then they're going to need a wardrobe. So that's how I'm going to market to, and I can actually go ahead and do my conclusion, because that's exactly what I'm going to do. All right, so again, I've summarized that they've found a way that have determined their natural hair type, ways to keep it healthy and beautiful. Now you need a night on the town, but to go with the amazing new you need an awesome wardrobe. And then talk about the new pages I have in draft. This is my boho chic and my Napa chic, and it's going to tie into the new clothing line that we have that's coming. Tanya's wanting me to write an article on Napa chic, and I just about got it done. So again, in just that little bit of time, I've got 2 outlines for 2 new pages on our new product. And now that I know the direction I want to go, it's just going to be a matter of doing some research, getting the proper terminology to talk about it. I can talk about kinky curly hair off the top of my head because that's what I have. Use your own knowledge to talk about it. Same thing with men. You just want to go in and talk about men's hair. You can talk about your wife's hair. you can tie it in together and talk about men and women both have problems with their hair, you know, taking care of their hair. Men can take it from, you know, most of you keep it short. Those that keep it long, you still have that hair type. You still have the straight, the curly, the wavy, the kink. Again, you can take it from any point of view that you are more comfortable with or the most comfortable with. So again, you just want to make sure that you have done your research, especially with this topic. Write what you're comfortable with. If your background, you know, you're comfortable with writing about African American, then do that, because that's your natural history. That's what you're comfortable with. If you're comfortable talking about ethnic hair or cultural hair or natural hair, do that. But you don't want to write about anything that you're going to feel offensive about writing, or that you might think is going to offend somebody when they read your paper. You're not going to be able to appeal to everybody. So again, you want to write what's comfortable to you and what you feel that you can live with, and that makes you happy and content with your page. Some people without that cultural background, they don't know about ethnic hair. They don't know about African American hair. They don't know about that culture. So they're going to have to rely on their research. And sometimes they're going to get the terminology wrong, but it's just because of their background. Again, you want to make sure that you're writing based on what you know and what you're comfortable with. And this is one of those topics that the terminology can get skewed a little bit, but you know what you're comfortable with, write what you're comfortable with. Okay. So I'm going to save this as draft. And then I'm going to show you guys my page I wrote on the Cursed Cosmetics. And she actually has a vlog, VLOG, on Amazon Prime, that she talks about the supernatural. So I think that's what I did. Yep. So here's mine. I actually have it in draft. And I took it, I'm a big vampire buff. I always have been, always will be. I like the supernatural. So this is the title of mine, is I've Put a Spell on You. There's not a whole lot of people using this. If you do, it's pulling up Bette Midler's song that she did in the Halloween movie. It's pulling up different songs by that, but not an actual page on cosmetics. So I did it on a whole spiel of vampires and the supernatural. Again, like I said, when it comes to this thing type of stuff, I like to use cartoon images. You see, he has wine. I tied my wine into this. Witches and folklore. I love this. My history is loaded. My culture is loaded with witches. I'm just, and you know, I grew up hearing about how witches roam, you know, the woods in our area. So I broke that down. I put, you know, different things on, you know, different meanings of different things. I got her video, which is off of her page. It's a video, so I put that on there. She actually showed it on her infomercial. So this is something people are going to recognize when they come to my site, because she uses it on her vlog. I talked about Mistress of the Dark, Elvira. Those of you that grew up in the 80s and early 90s, you should know about Mistress of the Dark, Elvira. She had a late time midnight show that she did that featured old movies, and she was dressed up as the vampiress. Again, talks about her makeup, the Cursed Cosmetics, talked about her 15-hour smudge-proof lipstick, eyeliners, and things like that. So my page is done. Roy wants me to go ahead and start marketing it. I might add a little bit more stuff to it that's talking about the actual makeup itself. So I talk about a witch has, you know, how her makeup can be used. You know, talk about the good and evil, the looks, the witch's eye, darker eyeliner, smoky eyes, and pouty lips, and then sexy clothes. So again, here's a place where I can do things for clothing. Send them to my couture page, my Napa Chic page. So again, talk about the witch's culture. Again, it's talking about the shimmering and shine, or bold, dark, smoky, or appeal. And that's what all her Cursed Cosmetics are, you know, but she does have a day wear, which is a little bit more on the soft palette side of the eyeshadows and makeups. The lips has a light dusty rose to it. Does the same thing with the eyeshadow. It has a dusty rose, the lighter greens. purple, the lilac shades of purple, that if you wanted to go to nighttime, you just outline it with the darker shade of that and then just contrast it. So the good thing about her cosmetics, guys, after doing research on her cosmetics, there are a lot of men that are into the goth culture, which is another great topic to talk about, that her cosmetics really resonate with. So you can talk about the goth culture. You can talk about the vampire culture, the paranormal cultures out there, the groups that cater to that type of lifestyle. There's actually a cultural lifestyle of, wannabe vampires, so to speak. You have the goth lifestyle that this really resonates with. Great topics to talk about. You can, add like this one. I pair it with my wines. I also got it paired with the clothing line because I knew we were getting clothing coming soon. But there's different ways that you can market this. I haven't done the, what do you call it? The churro one, because I'm not into sweets. So I'm going to have to do some research. I know Miss Lavette was kind of hesitant because of the name of the company, and it actually means holy devil. And after doing some research, there is a myth behind the holy devil. And it's good and bad about how a demon was thrown out of heaven, but he never lost his good side. But because he went against God, he was still considered a demon, but he still tried to be good. So, but he still had that mischievous, side of him. So there is a myth behind that. It just depends on how you want to market it. If you have a very, high religious belief and you're catering to the religious culture, it can be a little offensive. But if you tell the story behind the myth, it might shadow over the actual name of the company. Instead of, holy devil, you can say holy devil. It's an oxymoron because you have the good and the bad in one name. So again, that's the thing. And that's what I'm going to write about, is the story behind the holy devil, and then introduce the company. But the one thing about the churros is you're going to talk about the product, not necessarily the company. So if you highlight on the company, then that's what they're going to highlight on. So you want to highlight on the product itself and what it does and what it can do. When they go to the site and see the name of the company, then it's up to them to decide whether or not they want to support it. Your job is not really highlighting the company itself, but the product. Sometimes they go hand in hand, sometimes they don't. But again, you have to go with your gut, what you want your site to represent, how you want it to market, how you market the product speaks volumes of how you're going to get people to see your side of things. But there is a story behind what the little devil means, or the holy devil is in the Mexican, and even in the, I think it was Aztec culture, they also have a story about the holy devil. So again, just do some research. There's a lot of stuff out there on that. There's actually a whole group. There's a guy that wrote a book on certain things, and he just went way to the left. I had to leave out of his site because it just was very dark, very ugly, but it wasn't the true meaning of what that was, of where it came from. He just took his own spin to it. So there's some weird things out there, but there is some really interesting things on where that term came from. So there's that. So that's all I have for today, guys. If you got any questions, now's the time to ask.
Sheila,
Yes.
were you talking about cursed or Cheerio? I think I lost where you.
Yeah, the churro, the company, their name means little holy devil.
Okay.
It's San Diablo. I think it's, San Diablo. And there's a few students that's kind of hesitant about sending their church members and stuff, or even marketing that site, because it has that connotation of being evil and having to do with the devil. But again, do some research on the terminology, which I did. And there is a story behind San Diablo, where it came from. It shows up, I was surprised, but it shows up in a lot of cultures, and they all kind of lean towards the same story, just has different spins on it. But there is a guy out there that takes it to the cult side.
Okay.
So yeah, and he's everywhere. So you have to be very careful. But there is, I know in the Aztec community, the Mexican community, the Spanish community, there was in Costa Rica, South America, they all have a story similar to the San Diablo. They all have different names, but it still means the same thing. There's actually a town or a city by that name that has a whole story behind it, but it kind of mixes good and evil. But that's where it got its name. San Diablo it means holy devil. So there,
So basically, we don't have to have that in our page.
No.
It could just be churros. I can't pronounce it.
Yeah.
And then, but you're saying when they go to the site, they see that
the name
particular-
of the company. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but yeah, that's why I said you don't have to mention that. You can talk about the actual churro, what it's for. Like Stacy said, it's a good key phrase, fair food. If you've ever been to the carnival, the fair, the farmer's market or things like that, the autumn carnivals, they have churros and it's just a sugar donut. It looks like a waffle cake. What do they call it? The funnel cakes. It's similar to that. So, but it's just something that you can make at home without having to go to the carnival or to the fair. It's just a really fun dessert that you can have or a snack. But they have a machine now that you can do it in home. So if you talk about that aspect of it, I never mention a product or a company when I'm talking about anything, because I don't want them to stop reading my page and go search that company. I want them to click my link to go to that page. Now, once they click the link and go to it and see the name of the company and it's like, oh, I don't want to shop there, then that's totally up to them. But they've read my page. They might find something else in my site that they like to look at. I want them in my site. I'm going to talk about the product, not the company, because the company, we might get another company later on that has that same product that I can market that same page and just change out my links like we did when we left Direct Sellers and went to Wine Ambassador. So again, you want to make your pages all about the content of what the product is, not the company behind the product, if that makes sense.
Question.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, Emilio.
I take it you haven't checked my pages.
Not yet, but I know if your writing's like anything else that you've been doing, they're wonderful. They're ready to go.
Well, I just wanted to get your opinion on I did the one on Cursed also last
Yep.
week.
I will read those because you have sent them to me. Like I said, I've been playing catch up, trying to catch up on some sleep too, but it's kind of hard.
Me too.
I did sleep until about 6:30 this morning.
Okay. You're gonna be on Monday,
Monday, I'm going to be on the calls from 1 to 3 Yep.
Eastern?
Eastern. Mm-hmm.
That's 12 to 2. Okay.
Yep,
Okay.
that's sure because you're in Central. So yep,
All
I'll be
right.
on the calls waiting for all of you guys to jump on there and start making phone calls.
And you let me know when we can get together.
Yep, I will.
Uh,
So
That's it.
that's it. So unless you got some questions for me on how to get your pages started or how to modify a page or get a link, just make sure that you click on the links in the chat and save those or bookmark those. I will be adding more to the key phrases Google Doc that I have as soon as I get more information as products come through. So those would be a great place for you to go to if you're looking for key phrases. Again, just remember your page is the first way it gets ranked on Google is by your key phrase, but it can also get ranked by your headlines and your topics. So I always write my pages based on number 2, number 3, number 4 key phrase, if that makes sense, because that way my page can be searched by everything imaginable. So again, just because you have an idea, you want to make sure you always go Google your idea and see how much competition you have out there. If you are comfortable with that idea, run with it. And then just make sure that if you have a key phrase or a headline you want to do, research your headline. If your headline's gaining traffic, then also your page will gain traffic based on that headline research. Because even though your headline, if you have it as a headline and not as a title, when they key in that search, your page will still show up. It may not be on the first page of their search, but it will still be on their search options. So that's why I always use key phrases as headlines if it goes along with what my line of thinking is.
Okay.
All right. Do we have any more questions? We might call it a day a little early.
Get some rest.
Oh, I got to travel. I got to go see my dad and my father-in-law.
You still suffering from jet lag?
Kinda.
It's a long drive.
Yeah, it was. I got home I think it was 2 o'clock Friday morning. I slept till about 7 and got up and drove to Tennessee, which is another 5 hours. Because my husband was playing in a softball tournament and I wanted to make sure I was there to see him.
Okay.
So, but y'all have a blessed weekend. Happy Father's Day.
Happy
to all
Father's
the-
Day,
all the
everybody.
fathers. Yep.
Thank you.
Those of you that have yours, please call them or visit them. If not, if your father's no longer with them, just thank the
Oh,
Lord
yeah.
that you had the time with him that you did.
Do we start? I have one more question real quick.
Okay.
The product from yesterday's meeting and Rewick, Anna Rewick,
You mean today's?
the fashion. Oh, was it today?
Yep, this morning at 11 o'clock. Yeah.
Oh, time flies.
Yeah.
Can we start on that page too?
Yes, that was the other one, the clothing. And this is hers is, let me put it in there. Wait a minute. Let me just go to her homepage. And she is actually, she's one of those you can, if you're doing a Napa Chic, mine's called Napa Chic and Couture. She caters to that type of clientele. People that are high end, like they said, do garden parties, people that like to meet and greet, to be seen, just to be seen. That's the type of clothing she caters, or the type of clientele she caters to. Those that go to high-end functions, that want to be casual but still look professional, those are the type of clothes she has. They are a bit pricey for those that are not used to shopping that type of clientele. You know, I think the least expensive thing she has on there is like $30 and it's a mask or something like that. But those that want to be seen, that's nothing for them. That's, you know, that's like us going down to Walmart buying a $9 pair of tennis shoes. You know, that's their everyday thing. So this is one of those pages that you want to cater to those type of people, cater to that type of market, the business market, the professional market. You want to cater it to the socialite, the people that are wanting to be seen and be seen, the culture cliques. Like I said, the Napa Chic, the people that like to go to the Kentucky Derby, for instance. You know, you have to dress the elite type, those that are in the high end of society, the cultural groups, the wine clubs, the wine socials, the people that are in the cigar clubs, you know, because there are women in the cigar clubs, guys. You know, it's not exclusive to guys anymore. But they have a certain dress code, and she caters to that dress code, casual but chic. So that's, and like she said, nothing she designs does not include a pocket. If she can't design it with a pocket, she won't design it. And I love that. I love clothes with pockets.
Got to have a pocket.
Got to have a pocket. And that was one of the things she said. She said everything that she designs has a pocket. So I will definitely be looking at her. Some of the clothing, because I'm so short, her culottes will probably be pants on me, bell bottoms. Just saying. But the one thing that's the downside about her site is her sizes start at 4 and go up to 14. Some of them only go to 12. So if you're a plus size, you aren't not going to do it. You know, that won't be for her. If you're chesty, you know, us women that kind of go outside the size AB cup, we're going to have troubles with her tops and jackets. But she did say she makes her bottoms more towards the hippie style, which means the big pear-shaped bottom is what she said. She wants to have room because that's her shape. So again, it just depends. Like me and Stacy said, we better get double on the Zleem so we can get there. But it's just one of those things. There's a market for it. You just have to find the right niche to get that market. But if you're pairing this with wine, like I'm doing with the Napa Chic, then I'm going to be catering to the people that like exclusive fine wines. And those are usually ones that like to dress for dinner. You know, they don't come to dinner in their jeans and t-shirt. They come to dinner dressed almost better than they do for work. So those are the type of people her clothes will cater to. And then there's another guy that was supposed to be on today. His name was, hold on, I got it written down. Eric Thomas. He wasn't on today, but he's another one that has a clothing line. But I know there's like at least four other clothing lines outside of those two that's going to be coming in. One of them
His
is
name again?
Eric Thomas.
Thank you.
And I do know that there is a high-end actress that has a clothing line and a makeup line that we're going to be promoting. We just got to get all the logistics down. When you hear her name, Roy's let it drop a few times. You're going to know who she is.
I
So
Alba,
Jessica Alba. Yeah.
Jessica Alba.
don't know her.
Researcher. She's in a lot of movies. So yeah, she's got a clothing line and a makeup line
Real
that
good actress.
we're going to get. Yes.
Alba?
Very good. Jessica Alba. So, but she's
Alba.
coming. There's quite a few, I think there's like 15 so far professional athletes that are retired. Some are not retired that have started businesses that Roy's talked to when we were in Destin, that he's going to be talking to again to see if we can market for them, their products. So yeah, there's some big names coming and they're all going to be in Sephora. Okay.
Have a
All
nice
right.
weekend.
That will be all for today, guys. Y'all have a blessed one and we will see you next week.
You too. Have a nice weekend.
All right. You too, guys.
Thank you, Sheila.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Sheila.
Bye-bye.
Bye.